And welcome everybody to episode 9 of Comic Confidential, the weekly podcast where we bring you the week's comic-related news, views, and reviews. I'm your host, Troy, and with me as always, the truest believer of the true believers, Kade.
Thank you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you get it?
No, not at all.
That's what Stan Lee used to call comic book fans.
Oh, really?
Like true believers. Hey there, true believers.
Ah.
And I believe you're the truest of the true.
Of believers.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you.
No
You know,
worries.
I saw a Stan Lee comic book today.
Did you?
I didn't know it was a comic book just on Stan Lee.
An actual comic book? Or was it just like a comic encyclopedia type of thing?
No, it was an actual comic book.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you buy it?
No,
Oh.
I'm Paul.
Okay, that's fair. No worries. Hey, look, so welcome again to the show. I want to take the time to thank everybody who listens and subscribes, as I always do, because we love you.
We love you so much.
So much, you guys. Don't forget, you can find us on Facebook at Comic Confidential Podcast, Instagram and Twitter at Comic Con Pod. We've also got a website, which is pretty special. www. Okay, you don't need the W's. ComicConPod.com.
Yes, well
Oh,
done.
thank you. I'm learning.
You're learning.
Okay.
Hey, Troy, guess what?
What?
I have a special announcement.
What?
Yeah, what?
What?
We are going to do another fan pick episode.
Sweet.
Yeah, but this time it's a battle between superheroes.
Okay.
So, basically, you reckon we should get them to pick three?
Three.
Three.
Three
Yeah. All right.
battles.
Yeah, 3 battles. We're
Yeah.
going to do a Marvel versus DC matchup. And we want you guys to choose the battlees?
The
The combatants?
The combatants. There you go. That's it. Yeah, so that'll be really good. So I guess what we'll do is we'll break both characters down.
Yeah. Pros and cons?
Yeah, strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah.
We'll put them to battle and we'll see who comes out triumphant.
Yeah, so, as an example, and you don't have to choose this. This is just an example. It's, Superman versus the Hulk.
Yep.
Batman versus the Punisher.
Yeah.
Doctor Doom versus Doctor Fate.
Hey, that'll be pretty good.
Yeah, that'll be pretty rad,
I
eh?
like that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to do 3.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Cool. So pick 3, any 3, Marvel versus DC. We'll talk about it, and we'll see who comes out on top.
Yeah.
On top of that, right, we are also going to make sure, we'll pick one lucky voter.
Or maybe 3, because we might not like everything they say.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to pick 3 lucky voters. And look, we'll give you guys the most gushing praise and love in the form of an on-air shout-out.
Yeah.
Isn't that nice?
Could be a Twitter handle. Could be maybe not your Facebook, because that's your whole name.
Yeah, that's your whole name. We won't address, phone number. We won't do that. Yeah, we'll go Twitter handle or something like that.
Yeah,
we'll
or
figure something
Instagram.
out. Yeah, we might just use your first name and your last initial.
Yeah.
Yeah. No one's going to rock up at your doorstep. It'll be fine. So we're going to air this on Sunday, the 24th of April, as part of our episode 11. So what we need you to do is cast your votes on either Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter by the 17th. Okay? So that's next week. Do that.
Do that now.
Do that now. Go now.
Go. Well, wait. You done it?
Do it. You done it yet?
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah, sweet. Nice. So just post your pics on our wall, or you can leave us a direct message. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's good.
Cool.
We'll see what happens.
I'm looking forward to it.
And anything. Any characters, Marvel vs. DC. Mm-hmm. Cool. Next week, though, episode 10, in line with the very first official trailer dropping, we're going to be talking about everybody's favorite neurosurgeon turned dabbler in the mystic arts, Doctor Strange.
Yeah, that's good.
That's going to be cool.
That's going to be so good.
It's going to be the best, man. I can't wait for that trailer.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for this for so long. There's been so many behind the scenes photos posted online.
Yeah, all the leaked images.
Oh,
I need it.
he
Put it
just
in my
rocks
veins.
up to a comic book store in New York City, just dressed in full gear. Man. So next week we'll talk all about Doctor Strange, because we do understand there are quite a few people out there that don't really know a lot about the character.
Yeah, he's a bit unique. Yeah. And it's the first time they're really, introducing the mystical element into the MCU.
Yeah. Sweet. How about we talk some news?
That sounds good.
All right.
Batman vs Superman in its second week.
What happened?
This was going to be the test now, wasn't it?
It was.
It's 68% down on its takings.
Damn.
Yeah. So that's 52 million domestic.
Yep.
That's US domestic, of course.
Of course.
You'll be lucky to get that all over for Australia.
Yeah.
But 85 million worldwide.
And that's a big difference
It
to the
is.
420 million
It
did
is.
on its first weekend, isn't it?
But, you know, it's still at 700 million plus worldwide.
Yeah, so it's not doing bad.
No.
And it was either Zack Snyder, I don't know if it was him or it was somebody else that came out and said, we're not worried about, you know, our second week figures. We're worried about our overall goal. And we know we're going to hit, you know, what we need to hit to you know, to make this movie successful. And he also sort of said, like, you look at our first weekend, that's massive. So, you know, they don't really seem too concerned. 700 million in 2 weeks isn't like anything to sneeze at. But that 68% drop on its second week is massive.
It is.
Because you could expect that again.
Yeah, it's only going to get worse and worse and worse. And I don't know if this is true, but I did hear a rumor that to combat this, they're going to release a director's cut into theaters.
Yeah. So that's going to have probably about an extra half hour's worth of footage.
Yep.
What else did I see? They were going to do something really interesting that I thought might be cool.
I don't know.
Neither do I. Can't you read my mind?
I'm trying.
Anyway, they said they were going to throw a whole heap of basically 30 minutes worth of extra footage, which is going to help, hopefully, to like close up some of those plot holes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
You would hope so, because there were a few. If you haven't seen it yet, there's a lot of plot holes in that movie. But it's still super cool.
So good.
Deadpool. Speaking of super good and super cool. So we know it's now officially the #1 R-rated movie worldwide. It surpassed everything else that was in its in front of it,
Yes,
on top of it,
in its
whatever.
way.
In its way, there you go.
Yeah.
But now it has officially become the #1 ranked X-Men movie of all time.
How has it taken this long? I thought it would have overtaken all of those other movies easily.
No. I think X-Men Days of Future Past was quite successful. Yeah. But I think the more interesting thing is it's technically not really an X-Men movie. Like, they classify it as one, right? As part of the whole sort of thing. But it's actually, you know, like it's an X-Men movie that doesn't have an actual X-Men at the forefront of the show.
Yeah, no, fair point.
But it's cool. That's a massive thing.
Yeah.
You know, in the time that this movie's been out, like it's done so much.
Cool.
Like
it. You know, going back to DC here.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to get a couple of tie-ins in these extra movies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know, Batman and Wonder Woman.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's I don't know how good that one is.
Because we already know that he's going to be in Suicide Squad.
Yes, well, there's, you know, those images have been leaked of him on top of the purple Lambo.
Yep. And that's that's definite.
Yeah, that's
definitely
a definite.
happening. Wonder Woman, is a bit of a rumor.
Yep.
It would be cool though.
That would be.
Right.
It would. How would that work in the timeline? That means because, you know, the Wonder Woman's supposed to be set back in World War One.
Yeah.
So obviously it must have some. It must catch up to the future.
I would assume so at some point.
Yeah, not to the future, to the present. The future.
Future from World War One.
Yeah.
Yeah. The present.
But yeah, and also Cyborg is going to show up in the Flash.
Yeah. And that's really cool because, you know, like as we said in the Batman vs Superman special, this has opened up a whole brand new world. You know, we're so used to the Marvel universe and all that sort of stuff. This is giving us so much more, and a lot of these characters are going to cross over. It's just going to be awesome. I can't wait.
I just can't wait for the Flash movie.
Just give me something.
Yeah.
I'll take Flash. I'll take Aquaman.
Yeah, so will I.
Give me an Aquaman solo movie. I'll watch it. Look, I have some sad news.
Okay, lay it on me.
I will. And this isn't something that we normally talk about the show. This is a little bit of a Star Wars thing here. But I did want to mention that Eric Bauersfeld, who is the voice of Admiral Akbar, passed away this week on April the 3rd. And while that may not seem like a big thing because the character only had minor lines and things like that, he's an integral part to the whole Star Wars universe. And the pop culture and everything. Admiral Akbar is awesome.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to mention it. I wanted to mention that, unfortunately he passed away at 93. It's sad.
It is.
Cool.
But let me give you some happy news.
Happy news to finish off?
Yes.
Cool.
Well, the Supergirl and the Flash crossover.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a huge success.
Yeah, you could say that again.
It was massive. So, rumors going around that Power Girl could be showing up on The Flash.
Power Girl.
Power Girl.
Tell me how that's possible.
Well, for those listening at home,
Yeah.
Power Girl and Supergirl are effectively the same person.
One and the same? They are.
They are.
Supergirl is technically Supergirl on Earth 1, but in Earth 2, she's Power Girl.
Yeah.
However...
What they're saying.
Yeah. Because obviously Supergirl isn't from Earth 1 or 2.
Yeah, well, she's from Earth 3. That's how we worked it out the other episode.
Yep. Through math and science.
Math and science on our whiteboard.
Yeah.
Is that Power Girl is on Earth 1, just hasn't come out yet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be cool. It'll obviously the same character's going to play. Melissa Benoist
Yes.
will play Power Girl. I think that'll be cool.
It will be.
I don't know, we'll see.
Yeah.
Right, I guess. Because, they have to do something.
They do.
Yeah.
And, that just opens up more questions. Does that mean there's a Superman around?
Potentially.
Yeah. Is there a Batman around?
Ooh.
Yeah, so who knows?
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see soon enough.
We will.
There's a very good chance that we'll probably never see Batman or Superman on either of those shows, but that's okay.
No, we might see a little Bruce Wayne who's crying about some shit.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, that's the biggest news of the week.
Yeah, I think so.
Another quiet news week, but whatever, we'll take it.
Yep.
And that means it's time for the weekly wrap.
This is the segment where we wrap up all the week's TV action, and we always start off with The Walking Dead, but since that's part of our main segment tonight, we're going to save that best bit for last. So instead, we're going to start with Supergirl.
And it's on break. Yeah. But, it's going to return on April the 11th.
April the 11th.
Too excited.
Oui.
With Myriad, which sees Supergirl battle Non, Indigo, and their army of brainwashed National City people.
Citizens.
Yeah.
I would call them.
Citizens?
Yeah.
Fair enough. But, it's going to include James Olsen. So will Supergirl win? Will love prevail? Is anyone still watching this?
For now.
For now?
How much longer that'll last. But
until the end of the season. I'm giving it till the end of the season.
Okay.
And it has to impress me or it's gone. I'm drawing a line in the sand.
All right, man. All right, calm down. I can see you passionate. We'll see. We'll see.
All right.
Give it a chance.
Gotham.
It also has to be renewed, by the way.
Oh, yeah,
which
it
still
does.
hasn't happened.
Yeah.
Gotham. Guess what?
What?
Also on break.
Oh, who would have guessed?
And it's going to return April the 11th as well with the episode Into the Woods. That's not the terrible musical starring Meryl Streep, by the way,
Oh.
if you've seen it.
Yeah, that's a letdown. I would rather watch that.
Yeah. Oh, would you? Oh. Anyway. So this episode is going to see Jim Gordon continue his attempts to clear his name, and the Penguin learns about his stepfamily's role in his father's death. However, I did want to congratulate you this week by saying you nailed it, buddy.
Yeah, I did.
The Gotham and the Daredevil prisons are the same.
Yeah.
We checked it out. We went online.
Went on Reddit.
Went on Reddit, and there it was. And if it's on Reddit, it's true.
It's true.
All right. Let's talk about The Flash.
Well, guess what?
What?
The Flash is on break.
What?
What's going on at the CW?
I don't know, man. I don't know. We raged about it enough last week.
Yeah, we did.
But still, it's very annoying.
It is. And guess what? It doesn't come back until April the 26th.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But it's going to come back with a pretty rad episode because it's versus Zoom.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
And now that Barry's got the Tachyon device, you feel like he's ready to take on Zoom. Harrison Well also reveals a secret about Cisco's power.
Yep.
And while on Earth 2, we learn about Hunter Zolman's tragic origins.
Hey.
He's a serial killer.
Is he?
That's what I saw.
Oh. Cool.
Spoilers.
Haven't even seen the episode yet. Can I just say, it's probably time that Barry stops trusting everybody that's around him.
Yeah, that might be a good thing.
Honestly, how many times has this kid been let down? Fool me once, right? Shame on me or you. Fool me twice, shame on everyone. Isn't it?
Oh my god! Is this that George Bush moment going on?
Yeah,
here?
I think so.
Yeah, wow.
All right, let's talk about Arrow, an actual episode that actually happened this week.
Yes.
So in this episode, the team go up against Damien Dark as he attempts to break out of prison with the help of a few friends. Meanwhile, one of Team Arrow exits the show permanently. Or do they?
They fucking better.
I'm pretty sure they do.
Yeah. You know what? This episode was, it was well acted, it was well paced, and good performances from everyone. Even Katie Cassidy, who's usually the shittest person on the show.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been as harsh, but yeah, look, she has been a bit of a weak link in my mind.
Send her back to Supernatural.
Yeah.
Please.
Was she good on that, though? I never watched Supernatural.
I watched like one episode and she was on it, and I walked out.
I thought you loved that show.
Nah.
Oh, must be someone else.
Not me, man.
Must be another friend that I podcast with. Yeah, look, so yeah, it was a good show, though. It was after the last 2 weeks of disappointment.
Of shit.
Of shit. This was actually pretty good. One thing, though, that really, that I didn't get, or I didn't really care too much about, is Andy Diggle. It's like, is he bad? Is he not? Yeah, he's bad.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Really? They didn't build the character to... It wasn't really a twist, was it? Because they've never played him out as anything more than bad.
No, and it's like he didn't even get good. They just let him out.
Yeah, that's exactly my point.
Yeah.
At no point did you ever think, oh, this guy's turned around. And it was just like this poor attempt at a sleight of hand, I guess, that didn't really pay off, because it's just like... Oh, here's 30 seconds of him being good. You guys will think he's totally good now.
Yeah.
But actually, guess what? He's bad. But we knew that all the fucking time. Just do us a favor. Just give us a bit of a challenging storyline for once. We can take it. You know, we're smart people.
We are.
They did do one thing good, though, this week.
Yes, they did.
Yes, they did. The Black Canary bit the dust.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, look. I don't want to say I've been waiting for this since she became the Black Canary, but I'm not overly concerned that it happened either. I'm pretty happy for them to move on with this character and to move on with Katie Cassidy as an actress on the show.
Yeah, it's good. Catch you later. Except,
Yeah.
they found a way around the Lazarus pits.
Yes, they have. Is it? So she's going to show up on the Flash as the Black Siren in Earth 2, which is kind of like I guess a Black Canary ripoff.
No, it's Black Canary's mum.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
well, there you go.
And it's only
something.
Yeah, and it's only ever shown that it's her mum in the animated series.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so that's a little bit of trivia for you.
Ah, there you go. A little bit of brain knowledge.
Yes. But the shit thing is, it's a classic Arrow fault. You can't kill a character.
Exactly. And she's also going to turn up on an episode of Vixen. I don't know how they're going to do that.
Must be a flashback, surely.
It has to be a flashback. It's got to be something like that. I don't really know. It's not the last we've seen of her. Knowing this show, there's a good chance they'll bring her back at some point.
Yeah.
But, maybe they won't. Who knows?
Yeah.
What else has been happening?
Well, Damien Dark.
Yeah.
He should be an awesome villain.
Yes.
The guy's trained from Ra's al Ghul.
Right.
Or Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah.
However you say it on this show.
You say it on this show. You can just flip-flop.
But
no one cares.
But yeah, he's just like, meh.
Yeah.
I couldn't care about him.
Yeah, it's kind of, he really should be the biggest threat, to Oliver and the team so far. But it's just kind of like, who really cares? What are you doing?
Yeah, exactly. What are you doing?
What is this whole show doing? This whole season?
Yeah, I am not sure where it's headed.
Yeah.
It seems like this whole season has just been dragged out with a lot of hit and miss shit going on.
Yeah, a lot of hit and miss episodes, a lot of nothing really, isn't there? I could probably sit down and really sort of, delve deep into my subconscious or whatever and find some sort of story behind this. But I just really don't know where it's headed. And there's not that many episodes left. No. I don't know what we're building to.
No, exactly.
Every other season so far has been building to something. This one doesn't really seem to be building to much.
It's almost like they're trying to build up Damien Dark as the villain for next season.
Yeah.
That's the only way I see it.
It's like, we understand Hive
is
going to play a major part. When?
Yeah.
right?
In the last episode.
You're running out of time, show.
Yeah.
Get your shit together. I didn't mind this episode though. I'll give it that.
Yeah.
This was one of the better episodes that they've had in a while.
Yeah.
Like we did speak about, it was very well acted and all that sort of stuff, and a bit emotional and teary and all that sort of stuff.
It gave us stuff that we wanted.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, as you know,
With the demise of Black Canary.
yeah. I'm gonna give it a rating.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a rating of 3.5 out of 5, but I'm gonna give it 3.5 out of 5 dead canaries.
Too soon?
Is it too soon?
No.
No, it's never.
No,
too
I
soon.
agree. You know, not the best, not the worst. 3.5 seems kind of fitting.
Yeah.
And you know what?
What?
That takes us to DC's Legends of Tomorrow.
Yes.
Rip and the Legends travel to 2147.
That's a long time away.
It is, isn't it? It's a mouthful. And it's an attempt to stop Vandal Savage's future protege, little 14-year-old kid.
Yes, with a very interesting name, Per Degaton.
Per Degaton.
Don't call your kids Per.
Yeah,
That's a very weird name.
it is. That is so weird.
Kade, normal. Troy, normal.
Per? What are you, a cat?
Exactly.
Anyway, you know, they want to go back and stop him because he's going to unleash an Armageddon virus that starts the downfall of the world.
Yep.
And meanwhile, Snyder and Rory duke it out over who has the least amount of feelings for each other.
Basically.
Yeah. I don't like you. Well, I don't like you more.
like you more. Let's fight about it.
Weird.
Yeah. Who won? Nobody. Actually, no.
Friendship won.
Friendship won. Yeah. I take that back. Friendship won. And he did join the team again. Sort of.
Sort of.
We'll
in a
talk
way.
about that in a sec. One thing that I wanted to point out about this episode is that, like, it actually had some pretty decent special effects.
The bottle episodes have come back to pay off.
They have. They've saved their money and they've spent it wisely. You know, we had a couple of autonomous, like, Atom suits acting as law enforcement. You know, when we're talking about, like, you know, we were talking about Flash the other week where it had, you know, the very, very interesting, you know, battle on the staircase, and
Yeah.
you know, it wasn't that well done. This was pretty good, and it had a really interesting story about kind of how far you would go to save the world. It's kind of that whole, you know, if you could go back and kill baby Hitler,
Would you?
would you?
Well, yeah, you know, it's pretty simple in the end, isn't it? You know, kill the kid, save millions,
Right?
right?
It should be that simple,
But it's not.
but it's not. In my opinion, I think it's the smart move. I'm going to say it. I'm going to go. I'm going to go on air and say that yes, just kill the kid.
Except, I don't know if you caught it in the episode. Gideon says they removed him from the timeline in the sense that, you know, they kidnapped him and took him somewhere else.
Yeah.
Didn't change a thing.
Yes, but that's because they didn't kill him. They didn't eliminate him completely. Because they gave him a second chance. He basically just went back, and not only was he the same type of person, they actually reinforced his beliefs and caused it to happen a lot quicker. So
Fantastic job.
Yeah, you did really well, team. Legends, not so much.
No.
But look, I am pretty happy. I was pretty happy with the show as a whole. I thought it was pretty good. One thing I was definitely happy about was the fact that, yeah, Captain Cold and Heatwave punched it out and seemingly got their shit together.
Yeah.
I like these two guys.
They're
I think
good.
they're cool. And they add a little bit of comic relief, I guess,
Yeah.
without being overly funny. But they're kind of a little bit of
What's the word you're looking for?
I don't know. I just like their back and forth.
Yeah.
And I like
Their banter?
their banter, I guess, but
Yeah.
but it's more I like the attitude that they have. Like they're very much, you know, Captain Cold was very much, you know, let's just kill the kid.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
You know,
It's obvious.
it's a very good counterbalance to everybody else's morality.
Yeah, that's it. That's a really good way of putting it.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. You know what I'm kind of getting sick of?
What?
Is these little side stories of relationships.
Yes.
Oh man.
Like-
and Ken it's all Kendra.
Yes, it is all Kendra, and it's doing my head in.
Yeah. It's doing nothing for the show.
It isn't. The whole little... And maybe I missed something. I don't know. I was watching it pretty intently because it's kind of what I have to do.
It's your job.
It's my job. But their side... Like, Kendra and Carter's side story... Just... I don't really know what the point of that was.
You know, the only thing that I think it played out for was how they go and visit their son in the past.
Yeah.
And that's just to show him as a little kid.
Yeah.
That's all I feel that was, because it didn't add anything.
Yeah. The other thing, and you touched on it briefly, but the other thing is Kendra's relationship with Ray.
It's shit.
It's pointless, right?
It is.
And they've just dragged it out over multiple episodes now. I think we're in the 3rd or 4th episode where they're kind of like, oh, hey, we should get together. It's like, oh, no, I can't because I'm like tied to this guy for all my life. Oh, no, but, don't worry about that. We'll do this. Oh, okay. And then it's like, oh, no, but this guy that I'm tied to all my life. Oh, yeah, okay, no, I get it. Oh, no, let's get together. It's just stop it.
Yeah. Cut it out.
There is no point. It's not...
It's not even adding drama to the show.
It's not. It's not adding drama.
It's just taking up airtime.
Yeah, and this show is actually starting to become pretty good. I would actually rate it fairly high amongst the shows that we watch.
Yeah.
Well, maybe somewhere in the middle. I'll give it middle ground.
Higher than Gotham and Arrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd put it higher than Arrow?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. But yeah, so some sort of middle to upper ground. But these little side stories and this like trying to force romance and relationship fueled drama isn't doing anybody any favors.
No, it's not.
Save that for Supergirl.
Yeah.
I think that's that's where that belongs.
All right, let me throw something at you.
Yes.
A little bit of a positive.
Okay.
Yeah. Did you notice Coast City got a mention?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
That's happened a few times now.
It has. Do you think they're pointing towards a Hal Jordan type story going on here?
Do you think they can?
Does anyone actually have the rights for Green Lantern at the moment?
I don't know. I don't know if anybody would want the rights for Green Lantern at the moment. Like, it's coming in Warner Brothers in 2020.
Yeah, that's so long away.
So what's happening in between then? And, I guess you're right. Like, if it's possible, why wouldn't they bring in a major character like a Hal Jordan? Doesn't have to be a Green Lantern.
Yep.
But a Hal Jordan. That'd be cool. I'd love it.
Yeah, and I guess all the CW shows have been pointing towards it as well for the longest time now.
Yeah.
Just pay it off.
Yes. So let's see. Old mate from Suits. Can't remember his name.
Same guy from American Horror Story.
Is it?
I think so.
Okay. Old mate.
Yeah.
Whatever his name is, has been cast as a potential game changer type character in this show who will be introduced in the season finale.
Yeah.
And that could be him.
Man, you know what? They don't even need to show me Hell. They just showed a ring.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
Oh man, that would pay off this whole CW.
What about a lantern? But a green one.
Yeah. Not like a Chinese lantern.
Yeah, no.
Or just a kerosene one.
No,
yeah.
just a green lantern.
No, that'll be cool too.
Right, cool.
That'd be so cool.
I just wanted to hit you with a couple of little bits of trivia, comic related stuff.
Okay.
So we can bring this back to the comics somehow. The kid, Per Degaton, is actually a DC Comics villain.
Really?
And he's a Nazi. So really sort of throwing back into that killing baby Hitler.
Yeah.
Because, this guy in the comics is actually a Nazi.
There you go.
And Kaznia, which is where they go, that's where this whole thing is based, is an actual country/corporate conglomerate in the comics, just like in the show.
Really?
Yeah.
Ah.
Now you know.
Here's another little side note bonus fact.
Yeah.
Ray Palmer actually didn't have a brother in the comics.
What?
Yeah, it was just made up for the show.
What?
Oh,
how do they do these
my
things?
God, these
Mind
writers. They're
just
so
coming
good.
up with crazy shit. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Do you want to rate it?
Yeah.
What did you think of this one?
It wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
It was good. It apart from the whole relationship stuff, which I hope they just
drop,
get rid of it.
Yep.
It's you can tell it's starting to build up now.
Yeah.
It's getting good. I think next week might be the Jonah Hex episode.
Correct.
Yeah, I'm looking
Which should be cool.
Yeah, it will.
The movie was fucking terrible.
I haven't actually seen it.
Don't bother. It's terrible, but hopefully they do the character justice because the character's cool as shit.
All right.
Are you going to rate it?
Yeah.
Rate it?
I will if you just shut up.
Sorry, man.
I'm going to give it a 3.5 shitty child names.
3.5 purrs.
Yes.
Excellent. I'll agree with you. I'll 100% agree with you. Better than average show this week. And it definitely looks like it's actually pointing towards something, which is cool.
Yeah.
Even though next week's episode probably won't really add much to it if they're going into the West somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. It'll just be cool.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
You want to talk Daredevil?
Yeah, we do. This wraps it up.
This is going to wrap it up.
Yeah, episodes 9 to 13.
It's only taken us 3 weeks to get here.
Well, mate, who has the time?
Well, everybody.
Everybody.
By this stage, surely.
Yeah, you would think so.
So look, this final arc, this episode 9 till 13, so it really focuses on the Hand and their attempts to get a hold of the mystical black sky. And as the conspiracy surrounding the whole Carousel massacre unfolds, the Punisher attempts to get his hands on the mysterious blacksmith.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Did I break it down good enough?
I think so.
Excellent. I guess we don't really need to talk too much about the show as a whole. We kind of know how it unfolded and all that sort of stuff. I think what we need to talk about is the characters, where they're headed, what's next, that sort of thing. Who was cool, who wasn't.
Yeah, our impressions of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's what's important. Our opinions.
You know what I thought? Do you know what I thought was good?
What?
Vincent, a.k.a. the Kingpin.
Yeah.
Even though he only showed up in episode 9 and 10,
Yeah.
he's amazing.
Yes. So Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yes.
Don't cheat the man out of a last name just because you don't know how to say it.
That's not what I was trying to do.
Vincent D'Onofrio was brilliant.
And and if they don't do more with this character in the next season, it's going to be shit.
Oh man. The episode 10 especially. So when Matt visits him in jail.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh.
And he's just, he's quite calm and collected and all that sort of stuff, and then Matt kind of thinks it's smart to start
provoking
him and talking about how he's going to stop his woman Vanessa. Is it Vanessa?
Oh, I think it is. Yeah, they're gonna capture her.
Yeah, they're gonna extradite her to another country, whatever they're gonna do.
Yeah.
And man, does he lose his
Just
shit.
grabs his head,
Yeah.
bang bang.
and that is that for me was the pinnacle of this character, like the Kingpin.
Yeah.
It goes to show you can't do this show without this guy.
Yes.
Don't do it. Have side villains, but make sure you've got the Kingpin in there somewhere. He's way too cool. I tell you what I didn't like. Over all 13 episodes, right, I just could not get into Elodie Yong's Electro.
Oh. I don't know.
Just didn't do it for me.
No, I was the same. This whole Electro story arc, apart from her being used to raise the black sky.
Yeah. Well, she is the black sky.
Well, yeah, she is the black sky, but, it's whatever.
Yeah. Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
What's a black sky?
It's like a blue sky, but it's black.
What?
That's my guess.
That's pretty
because
ominous.
I couldn't care about her at all.
It's not even about caring. It's about the fact that they didn't actually really explain anything. It's kind of like, they rock up to the Hand and, the Hand are like, oh, you're the black sky. And she's like, oh, hey, guess what? I'm the black sky.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh, you're the black sky. Oh, well, cool. What the fuck is a black sky?
Yes. And it never paid off.
It never paid off. The whole side story never really paid off. They could have done a lot more with Nobu. They could have done a whole lot more with the whole thing. Like one massive plot hole that I want to point out is when they first sort of went into the building where they discovered that the Hand was going to be, and they found that giant hole that Matt threw a torch down, and it went for like 12 stories or whatever. That was never mentioned again.
I know. What was that for?
Right, so so for a brilliant show, it had some issues, and to me, most of the issues revolved around Electro.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, you kind of see her in a sense at the end where she's going to be resurrected, like they did similar to Nobu.
Yeah.
So she will come back at some point. I just hope she doesn't come back as the main antagonist for season 3, because that would be pointless.
Oh, I really hope they don't.
It was the biggest letdown for this season. IMO.
Yeah. IMO. IRL.
Yeah.
You know what I hope they do with her?
What?
Is that they kind of not shoehorn her into season 3, save her for Iron Fist, maybe change the character completely, make her look completely different.
Yeah.
And make it that's his mystical battle.
Yeah.
For Iron Fist. Just an idea.
Who knows? That would be cool. Very, very like out there.
Yeah.
Very out there sort of thought from you.
Thank you.
But I think that would be pretty cool. Let's just see what happens. I mean, these guys know what they're doing. They've shown that over 2 seasons. They kind of know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're bringing us a pretty good show. What do you want to talk about? What do you like?
Daredevil got his fucking Billy Club.
Fuck yeah. The Billy Club.
The Billy Club.
The Billy Club that can do fucking everything.
And he kicks ass with it.
He does.
P.S. Made by the Gladiator.
Exactly. Who is a comic book character. I don't think he's been mentioned as the Gladiator in this show.
I don't think so. Unless I missed it in season 1.
Yeah, just by his normal name, I believe.
Yeah.
But this Billy Club was cool as shit. That's what I've been waiting for so long.
Fuck yeah. As soon as he got there, I was like, oh my fucking God.
Yeah, and then he swings from buildings. It's like, you just get so excited about that sort of stuff.
And he just owns it straight up.
Straight up.
It's like he's been practicing with this thing for months.
Months. Just months. So you could pick up a Billy Club off the ground and just practice it with it for a couple of months and be as adept with it as he could.
Well, if you're Daredevil, you could.
All right, that's fair.
Yes.
That's fair.
Shit, man.
I thought you were trying to take away from his skill level.
No.
Right, cool.
I respect
but it was cool as shit, wasn't it?
It was.
It was cool as shit. You know what else was cool as shit?
What?
The unveiling of the costumed Punisher. Now, I want to clarify that by saying I think they could have done a lot more with it.
Oh.
Now,
this is... okay, I'll let you go.
Because to me, like, when you actually saw him and you saw the skull on the, on the vest and all that sort of stuff, it was cool.
It was.
It was super cool, and it's what we waited for, and it took us, like, 13 episodes to get there, and it was right at the end of the 13th episode, pretty much.
Yeah.
But the way he got there, I think they could have done something a bit bigger with it. I think they really could have, like... I
know. I felt like it was just shoehorned in at the end because they're like, oh, fuck, we haven't given him his costume yet.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Because I think a really good time that they could have done that is when he's kind of dragging the blacksmith out into the woods. That's if he is actually the blacksmith.
Yeah.
Never actually said that he is, but there's a very good chance that he is. So when he's dragging him out into the woods, maybe don't show him at all. And then when you actually do pan up, and then it's bam, and he's right there.
Yeah.
And he's like, and he gives some kick-ass fucking speech about if God won't punish the wicked, then I will, or some shit like that. They could have made it so cool. And finish on that. He doesn't have to show up on a rooftop and like shoot some fucking ninjas.
Man, that was just so out of nowhere.
Yeah, it didn't really make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I think My Way was better in it.
I think it was. I think anything would have been better than the way that he was just kind of thrown in at the end, and he's just like, no worries, mate.
Yeah. Thanks, Red.
Yeah.
I'm out of here.
Gotcha.
A little less Aussie, but
yeah.
But overall, and that's a bad way to end it, but I don't want to take anything away from Jon Bernthal and his portrayal of the Punisher.
No,
I thought
he killed it.
Fucking great.
Yeah.
I thought it was excellent. I need to see this guy in his own series.
Well,
if they don't, that's a travesty, man. If they don't pick up a Punisher series, I'll quit.
Well, you know what really what really sealed him as a Punisher for me was when he was in the diner with Karen.
Yeah.
That whole scene killed it.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
Actually, well, yeah. But you know what did it for me? It's kind of where he had the blacksmith in the shed.
Yeah.
And Karen was basically like pleading with him and all that sort of stuff. And he just closes the door and he's just like, it's too late for me.
Yeah. And then 2 seconds later, bang.
Bang. Yeah. There is no turning back.
Yeah.
For him, which is cool.
That is good.
What about Karen? What about Foggy? Where do all they end up?
Well,
where do they head?
Well, Karen, I guess, the whole Foggy and Murdoch practice is closed.
Gone.
It's done. Catchyoulater.com.
It's had its day.
And we've got Karen working as a journalist for Ben Ulrich's old newspaper.
Yeah. Can I just say, right? Can you imagine working in a newspaper, right? So you're there every day, slogging it out in your little cubicle, just trying to give the best story.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, in walks somebody that has no experience as a journalist whatsoever.
Yeah.
Right? Not even a lawyer.
Yeah.
She was just like a legal secretary, if that. And she just waltzes in, mind you, with a bit of a good story, with a bit of a good scoop.
Yeah.
Fair enough. And the editor-in-chief is just like, oh, hey, why don't you come and take this massive office?
Yes.
Right?
Get your own private office.
Why don't you come and take this own private office? Oh, don't worry. You can stare at that computer screen as long as you need. Don't worry about writing me a story, just whenever it comes to you sort of thing.
Yeah. Not, I need this by 8 o'clock tonight.
Yeah, like she would be the most hated person in that entire building.
Jill over in accounts is fucking grinding her teeth about it.
Isn't she? She's furious because... honestly, that's never going to happen. That is the most crazy... I know they had to put her in there at some point. But, I mean, honestly, you're going to start her from the top?
Oh.
Ben Ulrich was, he was a journalist for 40 years or some shit.
Yes.
Anyway.
I know. I was like...
do you understand my frustrations?
I do. And it's just like, this would never happen.
Yeah, and I liked Karen Page as a character. I feel like she spent this whole season on the verge of tears. Just
they
about
had the eye drops off scene.
Constantly. Or she was carrying an onion with her or whatever. But it's that was just a little bit unrealistic for me, but I understand where they're going. Also pretty cool, she finds out that Matt's Daredevil.
Yes. Yeah, and he just comes clean.
Oh, he's like, I got this bag. You think it's lunch?
Yeah.
It's like, it ain't lunch. That's my helmet.
Yes.
Or cowl. Whatever you want to call it.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cowl.
Yeah, I guess.
Isn't it? That's going to open up a whole new thing.
Yes.
In it.
Well, talking about opening new things, Foggy.
Yes.
Takes us into the Jessica Jones world.
He does. This is cool, and they hinted about it earlier in the season. But yeah, in the final episode, I believe it is.
Yeah.
In the final episode, he basically joins Jerry Hogarth at Hogarth, Chow and Benowitz, which is obviously the law firm that Jessica Jones terrorizes for the entire season.
Yes. Now I don't know if I'm remembering this correctly, but did she offer him a partnership in the place?
She did. She said, how does Hogarth, Chow, Benowitz, and Nelson sound?
I thought so.
So
that's pretty extreme.
That's massively extreme. It's like, we really liked your opening statement, your opening argument in the Punisher trial. Yeah. How about a partnership in this massive law firm?
Yeah, come have a quarter of it.
Do you know, where are these opportunities in real life? They just never happen.
I'm throwing my hands up.
He is. He's throwing his hands up as high as he can get because it's frustrating. Because it's and okay, I'm about to say it's unrealistic. And I know how that sounds in the grand scheme of what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But this kind of unrealistic is just rushed.
It is.
Right?
It is.
It's not realistic in the sense of, yes, you can get them there, but you don't have to put them right at the top. That doesn't really make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So who knows? Maybe that stuff really does happen to people.
Well, maybe.
And we're just a couple of poor saps that, podcast every now and then and have regular jobs.
Yeah.
Right?
That could be the case. True.
Maybe. What do you think is next? Who's the next villain? We have spoken about this a couple of episodes back. We spoke about who Charlie Cox wanted as villains.
Yeah.
He did mention Bullseye.
Yeah. I want Bullseye.
I want Bullseye.
Going through who the villains have been, I think it has to be him.
Yeah. Can I just say, and this could be a potential massive spoiler for everyone.
Yeah.
In the comics, Bullseye is the one who kills Karen Page.
What?
So, if they bring in Bullseye,
yep,
that could be a massive storyline.
Well, then she'll actually have something to cry about.
Yeah, death.
And to be fair, she did kill someone already, so she's got it coming.
Yeah?
Yeah, she did that in season 1.
Yeah, no, I know, I remember, but I mean, that's very harsh.
Is it?
Well, not to the Punisher.
Yeah.
He'd be all for it.
He knows what's up.
We're getting off track. Who do you want to see? Do you definitely want to see Bullseye?
Yeah.
Anybody else that you think might come back?
Well,
Yeah.
I think, each season, if you think about it, it's kind of had two villains throughout.
Yeah.
You got your first half, second half.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be Kingpin and Bullseye.
Cool.
What about you?
Me too. That's what I want.
Yeah.
Just give me Kingpin. Give me more Kingpin. Give me as much as you can.
Yep.
And yeah, give me Bullseye because that'd be cool.
Cool.
Do you want to rate the season?
The whole season?
Whole season, not just our last episodes.
Okay, no.
We'll rate the whole season.
Whole season. Now, I thought this season wasn't as good as the first season,
Yeah.
in my opinion. Just because, there was a couple of rushed little stories, the whole Electro arc. The whole season didn't really pay off to anything.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it 8.5.
That's still pretty high.
Well, it is. Mind you, I would have gave Daredevil last season a perfect score, 10 out of 10.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, 8.5, just clean.
Yeah, just a clean 8.5.
Yeah.
I will go slightly less. Right?
Ooh.
I'm going to go an 8, and I loved this show. Don't get me wrong. I loved it. The focus, though, I feel should have been on the Punisher rather than the major focus being on Electro and the Hand.
Yes.
And I know that when you're looking at the comic books, it probably plays more into that in the sense that, yes, the Punisher and Daredevil have some crossovers and things like that. Elektra and the Hand play a more major part. But I just think with what they did with the Punisher towards the end, I felt like it was a little bit rushed. I really think that they could have done a lot more with that character and maybe had a smaller side story with Elektra.
Yeah, I agree.
So I'll give it an 8. Plus that big hole. That big hole.
Big
What is
hole.
that? What is that? So that gets 2 points there.
Yeah.
Just sucked right into that big hole.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
my
I agree.
goodness.
I agree.
Cool.
Yep.
And that's it. We are finished Daredevil.
Oh,
Praise Jeebus.
praise Jeebus. Thank God. Not that we hated it. It's just it took a lot.
Yeah, it took a lot. But it was good. And I can't wait for season 3. I can't wait for Luke Cage.
Yeah.
I can't wait for Iron Fist. Next Jessica Jones. Bring it all together.
Yep. Let's go, Defenders.
Let's go, Defenders. All right. That's going to bring us to our main segment. So that is going to lead us into this week's feature. And let me tell you, we got stuck into our research for this one.
Oh boy, did we.
Oh boy, did we. What we're going to do is we are going to give you the 10 biggest, sort of most spectacular comparisons between the Walking Dead TV show and the Walking Dead comics up to the season 6 finale. We won't go any further than that.
We don't want to spoil it for
Yeah,
you.
exactly.
Yeah. So we'll give you the episode number versus the comic issue where we can. We'll tell you some of the awesome things that they did, tell you some of the amazing things that they did different, and we might even give you a little bit of trivia.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But first, you want to talk about the finale?
I think we should.
Yeah.
I think we should.
Yeah, Morgan finds Carol and breaks his vow of not killing.
Hey.
Fucking good on you, mate.
About time.
Meanwhile, the Saviors have Rick and the crew beat at every turn. Literally.
Literally every turn.
Plus, we get the big reveal of Negan.
Yeah.
Finally.
Finally. It's what we've been waiting for. Look, this whole episode was, to me, it was edge of your seat stuff, man. You really felt for Rick and the crew as they slowly began to realize how far, I think Abraham put it, up Schitt's Creek with their mouths open they were.
No, it was good.
Yeah, because it was almost like claustrophobic.
It was.
Really, wasn't it? Because everywhere they went, the group sort of started small and they just got bigger. And the issues got bigger and bigger until they realized, fuck.
Yeah, that last roadblock,
Yeah.
it's just huge, man.
Oh, man, that was like... I had to kind of rewatch it because when I first saw it, I thought they had cars piled up on top of cars.
I thought the same thing.
It's just like a pyramid of cars with people standing on them.
Yeah. No.
They didn't.
No.
But it was just a shit ton of people. But I thought that was really good, man. And I thought the suspense and the way they sort of kept it tight throughout the whole thing was really well done, really well directed. And
especially, when they put the personal belongings of the people they've captured on the walkers.
Oh, that was cool. That was cool.
That was damn good.
That was damn good. Just like a whole trail of walkers, and with chain like going right through them. Like that would have taken some time, man.
Absolutely. Yeah. A lot of effort.
Bit of a dreadlock on one, the old vest on the other.
Yep.
Yeah, it was cool.
It made me look. I was like, oh my God, is that them?
Yeah. But you knew it wasn't.
Yeah, I knew it
you
wasn't.
Knew it wasn't.
Yeah, but I was just like,
yeah. One thing that did take it away a bit from me though was the Morgan and Carol side story.
Yeah, it was almost a little bit unnecessary.
Yeah, I think they could have done this whole episode just concentrating on that.
Yeah,
like as in that, by which I mean Rick
and
his
crew.
troubles.
Yeah,
yeah. Not much came of it, other than the fact that like Carol said to Morgan, when you have people that you love, you have to kill for them, and if you can't kill for them anymore, then blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
So Morgan finds himself in a situation where he has to do just that.
And he does.
He does.
And it's good.
It is, but do you think he had to? Like, if I was to be honest with you, I would say that there was probably an opportunity for maybe like a shoulder shot or maybe a shot in the kneecap. These guys are like basically expert marksmen.
Well, they are now.
By this point. He probably didn't have to kill him.
No, I disagree. I think he had to. I mean, this guy already sunk 2 bullets into Carol on the ground.
Yeah, what's 2 more?
He's already got a shoulder wound.
Yeah.
Man, these guys in The Walking Dead can take some hits.
They can.
Man, I'm sure if I got shot, I'd cry like a bitch.
I bet you would.
Bet you would too.
Nah, man, not me.
Yeah.
That ain't me, dog. But like while that was fine, and we'll see where that goes. It just didn't really it didn't really sort of do too much for me as far as the whole grand scheme of thing goes. Especially because it kind of took away from the tension of the other story.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, a little bit because we knew where it was headed.
Yeah. Oh, you couldn't wait.
Yeah,
you couldn't wait.
And
but guess what?
What?
We waited and we got what we wanted.
We did, sort of.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Oh, son.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah, Jeffrey.
Look, we won't talk too much about it, but I guess we will in the feature.
We'll talk about it in the feature, like how his introduction was played out, TV show versus comics.
Yeah.
But Jeffrey Dean Morgan is fucking cool, man.
He is. He is rad.
I don't know how many times we've said that on this show, but Jeffrey Dean Morgan is cool. And yeah, I think he was, and again, we'll touch on it later.
Yes.
But I think he was great.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant acting. And this episode did everything right, in my opinion, until
the end.
The end.
What do you think? Tell me what you think, because this is another, Batman versus Superman in the sense that it's got the internet completely divided. Some people thought it was good. Some people thought it was shit. That they effectively, what we're talking about is that they didn't show who Negan killed.
Yeah.
What do you think though? Like, what's your opinion, man?
I was pissed off.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've read the comics.
Yep.
I know what happened.
Yep.
And I just feel like that was such a cop out at the end of the season. It's been building to meeting Negan this whole season. Fair enough. We got to meet him.
Yep.
But for them to do that, I know, man. There's no fan service there.
I agree. And I'll go a little bit deeper than that in the sense that we've already seen a Glenn, is he dead, is he not?
Yes.
Then we've kind of seen a little bit of a brief Daryl, is he dead, is he not?
Yep.
Carol, what happened to her? Is she dead or is she not? We don't need another cliffhanger.
Yes.
Finish it by showing somebody being brutally murdered in front of the crew and then start season 7 with their reaction to that.
Yeah.
Now, the showrunners have come out and they've said that you will see it. Season 7, episode 1. They'll bring you the whole thing in all its glory. Why not just do that now?
Exactly.
Right?
Won't that make you want to watch it even more?
I remember reading a couple of things, about them saying that the last episode was going to be just amazing. It was going to be the best thing they've ever done.
Yeah,
I remember
you quoted it last week.
Yeah, I remember
best thing you'll ever see on TV.
Yeah, And the guy who plays Daryl, what's his name? Norman Reedus.
Yeah.
Norman Reedus said that the shooting of the season 6 finale was some of the hardest stuff that they've ever had to do. Wow.
How?
How? Look, you can... I understand why they would want to leave on a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I get it.
But I just don't think with the cliffhangers that they've given us in this season, there's only 16 episodes for fuck's sake. We've probably had like 5 fucking cliffhangers.
Every third episode there's a cliffhanger.
Yeah, you don't need to do it again. And not when it's as important as this. This has been building and building and building and building, right?
Well, I feel after the whole Glenn scenario,
Yeah.
we needed a payoff.
Yes, that's exactly it.
And this is bullshit.
Yeah, we didn't. You might think differently out there.
Yeah.
Like, who knows?
Let us know.
Yeah, you might think that it's completely fine and it's justified and it leaves the show lingering and leaves you wanting more in October when season 7 returns. But for me, it was a disappointment because, you know, I read the comics now. I have caught up. I'm exactly up to where the show is. And, you know, I wanted it to happen, man, but it didn't. It just didn't. And it just... I don't know. I do want to ask you though, like who do you think died? And I know before I say this, I know the one of the producers of the show has said that he doesn't want people to try to like figure it out. He doesn't think you can figure it out. He sort of says there's a possibility that someone's going to do it, and you might see it. It might be like, you know, the 100,000th comment that, you know, pops up on the internet somewhere.
Yeah.
Someone's going to get it right.
Oh.
But he doesn't believe there are any visual clues or anything.
A 1 out of 10 chance there?
Yeah, it's
Something
actually
like
not that hard.
Yeah.
And you know there are some people that are guaranteed not going to die.
Yeah.
Right? So you can eliminate probably 3 people straight away without even like questioning it. So you're now down to a 1 in 7 chance.
Okay.
What do you think?
Now, I've said Maggie the whole time.
You have.
You've said Carol. Carol's not there.
Well,
automatically gone.
Well, I'm out.
I'm going to throw one more into the ring.
Yep.
Now, I guess I have to say a spoiler warning. We have to say who dies in the comics.
Yeah, and I think most people know this by now, though.
I don't know, but in the comics, and this is a spoiler alert. If you don't want to listen, maybe go ahead 5 minutes.
Yep. Jump 5 minutes, put your fingers in your ears, go la 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 la,
Yeah.
do whatever you've got to do. We'll say it 3, 2, 1.
Glenn dies.
Right.
Glenn gets his head bashed in front of everyone.
Yep.
I don't think they're going to do Glenn.
No.
He's a little bit too much of a fan favorite.
Yep.
I
don't think it makes any sense right now.
No, it doesn't make sense. It could be Maggie still.
Yeah.
You know, there's that whole role reversal.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw another name into the ring.
Yep.
It is Abraham.
You think?
Yeah. And the reason I say this is because I reckon there's been a few little subtle hints to him, because he was originally supposed to be the one to get the arrow in the eye.
In the comics.
In the comics, yeah. Not Denise.
Yep.
And he's also been hinting that you know, he wants to settle down.
Yeah.
And anytime people start getting comfortable in The Walking Dead, they get killed.
Yeah. That's a fair point. And look, and I actually 100% agree with you. I don't think it should be, because I don't know that Abraham is enough of like a major character to really sort of care about.
Yeah.
In the sense of like if it was a Glenn or if it was a Carol or a Maggie or Daryl, one of the original crew.
Yep.
Like that would be the most terrible thing if it was one of the original people that went.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think you're right. And I think, you know, there's the point where he sort of like sits up a bit.
That's it.
You know, and he kind of like he shows himself to be relatively unafraid. You would think that Negan would look at him, or you know, they know a lot about these guys, so they would know that he's probably one of their better soldiers.
That's it.
You know, why not take him out? He does like get cracked in the head. And, you know, Negan does mention, oh, you're taking it like a champ.
Yeah.
You know,
you could see him.
You could see him copping a hit.
Yeah.
And doing that. But, you know, that also happens in the comics.
Yeah.
So who knows? Who knows? But I agree with you. I think it's Abraham. If it is, to me, though, that's a little bit disappointing.
Yeah. I don't know. This whole episode was a little bit disappointing.
Yeah. But if you look at the 10 that were there...
Yeah.
there's only a couple that it could be that would actually be, realistically, if it's not Daryl, Michonne, Maggie, or Glenn, it doesn't really matter.
And
it's not going to be Rick and Carl.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
That's 100% certain.
Yeah.
So
look, the show did really well. I thought it was a really good episode. I thought the tension and everything was great. I've said it before. It was let down by that for me in a big, big way. You introduce this massive character, you build it up for so long, and then it's kind of like, again, guess what? You've got to wait till October.
Yeah. It's
not
bullshit.
A week.
Yeah. October.
Not 3 weeks like The Flash. You have to wait until October.
All right.
Okay.
Enough of that.
All right.
What'd you give it?
Look, I give it 3. 3 solid baseball bat strikes to the head.
Yeah.
3 out of 5. Very good episode, let down heavily by the ending.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
-2 for being shit.
Yeah, -2 for just fucking leaving us on a fucking another cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Excuse my language.
Sylvester Stallone would be all over this.
He would. That's a cliffhanger movie reference if you don't get it.
Watch it.
Moving on. And I guess with the introduction of Negan, that's probably the best way to start our main segment.
Yeah.
So the whole TV show versus comics. Books.
What was better, what wasn't.
Yeah.
Type of thing.
Well, let me tell you what they did fucking spot on.
Okay.
And that is the introduction of Negan.
Yes.
Right? So, to break it down, we obviously saw him at the end of Season 6, Episode 16 in the show. It was issue 100 in the comics. And it was part 4 of the Something to Fear story arc, which is where they kind of, decide to take on the Saviors.
Yeah.
Now, there are a couple of few differences in the sense of the people that are with Rick, in the show and in the comics.
Yeah.
A couple of different people. Abraham's not there, but Heath is.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. Like, not too many. But the introduction and the dialogue, the paneling, the way Jeffrey Dean Morgan, looks as far as his, the jacket, the bat, all of that sort of stuff, even as far as, it's going to be PP Pants City real soon. It's taken straight out of the comics, apart from, a couple of fucks less.
A fair few fucks.
A fair few fucks less.
A lot of dick talk is also taken out.
There is a lot of dick talk. And I think hopefully they will put that into the Blu-ray special, when the season comes out. I really hope that they do. I hope they don't try to dull the character down a bit.
Yep.
Because we do want to see it at some point. But for me, it's almost panel by panel. They just did everything exactly the same.
Yeah, it was really good.
It was cool. I thought that, for me, that was one of the coolest things. And look, if the end result is anything like we're going to see in, episode 1 of season 7, holy shit.
Oh,
we know it's probably not going to be Glenn. Spoilers. Look, we know it's probably not going to be Glenn, but if they do it the same, and if everybody's reactions and the way it looks and everything's the same, holy shit, man, it's going to be unreal.
It's going to be so good.
What about you? I know you've got a few things that you like.
Yeah. Well, this one, it's pretty major because it really changes a lot about one character.
Yeah.
And what I'm talking about here is Rick still has both hands in the TV show.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Shows them regularly.
All the time, waves them about like he just don't care. But in the comics, actually in issue 28, Rick had a confrontation with the governor.
Yep.
And in this, the governor kind of needs to show who's boss.
Yep.
And essentially cuts off Rick's hand that he shoots with.
Yeah. And this is effectively in their first meeting together, isn't it?
It is. I think they're talking in, and don't quote me on this because it was about a year or two ago I read this comic.
Yeah.
And I think they're having a chat in a barn.
Yes.
About it. They kind of meet halfway.
Yeah.
And
that kind of happens in the show as well.
It does, yeah. I thought it did.
Yeah.
And basically he just grabs him, chop.
Boss.
Catch you later, arm.
Yeah, I'm boss. Now you got no hand. Similar to the way that Negan does the same thing in the sense of, to show them how serious he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have one.
Yeah?
If you're finished.
I am finished.
Cool, because I have one that I think is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
And it's the whole relationship between the governor and Michonne.
Oh, yes. Yeah, this is good.
Yeah, it is good. And to give you an idea about the governor himself, in the comics, he's definitely got a little bit of a different look, a little bit more Mexican.
Yeah.
Hispanic, just overall. I don't want to shoebox him as a Mexican.
Yes, of course.
But he definitely has a Hispanic look. He's got the old handlebar mustache. He's got the flowing dark hair, all that sort of stuff. And obviously the TV version that we know has, is a lot more clean cut in his looks.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
A bit more of a more classically handsome gentleman.
Very political looking.
Isn't he?
Yes.
Just like a governor.
Hey.
I guess he dresses pretty well. He has short cropped hair, all that sort of stuff. They're kind of like polar opposites of each other. And it's not just the features of the two that differ though. It's kind of the way they act as well. So the TV version is a lot more calculated in his decision making, I would say.
Yeah, yep.
While the comic version is kind of a lot more controlled by his emotions.
Yeah.
And prone to some pretty crazy outbursts.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's kind of giving you an idea of the differences in the characters of the governor between the TV show and the comics. But the relationship with Michonne is pretty much the same in the sense of, she hates him and all that sort of stuff. But the TV show doesn't really delve into the why. She just has a hunch about him. She kind of doesn't she doesn't trust him and all that sort of stuff.
Well, hang on. In the TV show, he actually captures her and beats her.
Well, yeah, but I think she already had her suspicions first, right? I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
But you're right.
Yeah.
So he does capture her. He does beat her a bit. In the comics, he rapes her repeatedly.
Yes.
Which is kind of, it's a little bit more extreme, and they're probably not going to show that. But what she does to him in return is kind of a lot more extreme as well. Comics versus TV.
It's way more.
Way more. So in the TV show, she kind of does the old stab in the eye, and I think she cuts off his hand.
Yeah.
The old reverse Rick.
Yeah, exactly.
The governor cops it. In the comics, he actually loses an eye, gets his entire arm chopped off, and she also cuts off his doodle. The little hang down.
He's hang down. It ain't hanging no more.
Yeah, it's gone. And that really plays a major part into why he's so crazy when he does go to attack the prison and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, he's left in a pretty bad state. A lot worse than he is in the TV show, let me tell you.
And, we haven't got notes on this, but I've read the Walking Dead novels.
Yes.
Which is all about how...
The rise of the governor?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's about 5 or 6 books.
Yeah.
And I've read all of that. And the thing about the governor is he is masquerading as someone else.
Ah, tell me more, sir.
Yeah, so, again, it's been a little while since I've read these books.
Right.
But he is masquerading as someone, I think, by the name of Philip Blake.
Yes.
And basically, he was his brother, I think.
Okay.
So he's basically taken his brother's identity. And you know how he had that little Walker girl?
Yeah.
That he said was his daughter?
Yeah.
That was Philip Blake's daughter.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which, can I also say, now that you bring that up,
Yeah.
is a little bit more of a disturbing relationship in the comic books than it is in the TV series.
Yeah,
It's very weird. Pulls out all her teeth so
Yeah.
he can kiss her.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It's super weird.
And it just goes to show, how...
Fucking crazy he is.
Yeah, exactly.
And, not many people know that, he's masquerading as someone else. So,
Yeah.
that just really puts him on another level.
Yeah.
So, bonus fact.
Bonus fact. There you go. Just thrown in there.
Yeah.
Wow.
There
Give
you
us
go.
another one.
Oh, well, I'll give you another difference.
Yeah.
And that is the death of Laurie.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So, season 3, episode 4 of the show, we watched Rick's wife, Laurie, die during childbirth.
Yes.
Thank fuck, because she was fucking terrible.
She was annoying as shit.
Yes. Also annoying as fuck in the comics.
Yep.
So, thank fuck.
Yes.
Yes. So, with her dying, it leaves Rick and Carl to raise Judith on their own.
Yep.
However, in the comics, Laurie did not die from childbirth.
No, she did not.
No. So, rather, she was shot in the back by the governor's forces in the overtaking of the prison.
Yes.
And she also fell and killed the baby.
Yes, she did.
And all this happened in issue 48.
Yes, it did. And so effectively, she was running with Rick They were trying to escape. And
shot in the back.
Shot in the back. Falls forward. Lands on the baby. Crushes it. No more baby in the show, which is what you would have loved.
Yeah, that's what needs to happen.
But it's it was terrible, and it changed the landscape forever. Really.
Yeah,
it was very much a big thing for Rick, obviously.
Yes.
Yeah. Speaking of kids.
Yeah.
What about little Sophia?
Ah, yes, this is a little bit different.
Little Sophia, Carol's daughter Sophia. So in the show, obviously, Carol's daughter Sophia goes missing, and they find her in Herschel's barn, and she's a zombie. And in a tragic moment, Rick has to shoot her, and it's all very sad.
Yeah, actually, pretty powerful moment in the TV show.
It was.
Because I think it might have been, apart from the very first episode,
Yeah.
where you see a child zombie.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and I don't know if you actually see that one get killed or not. Maybe you do.
I can't remember.
It was so long ago.
Either way, one of the first times you got to really see a child zombie, and especially see, because this was an actual child at some point in the show as well.
Yeah.
And Rick had to kill her in season 2. Happy news, in the comic books, she is alive and well.
Yes.
And she also becomes the girlfriend of Carl. Take that.
And I know if you got this, but she is adopted, and I'm saying adopted in air quotes,
Yeah.
by Glenn and Maggie.
Yes.
And
she
it's kind
is.
of weird that she calls her mum.
Yes. Like, I don't really know what the exact time frame is, because
it's not
Carol
long.
does die, and we're about to talk about that. But I think it's not that long.
No.
And she's like, oh, Mom, Dad. Like, weird.
Yes. And, as Troy just said, Carol does die in the comics.
Yep.
But not only that, she is a completely different person.
Completely different.
Yeah, Carol in the comics is not the badass Rambo chick that we see on TV.
Yep.
In the comics, she's actually a flirty young woman.
Yes.
I think she's in her mid-20s, maybe early 30s.
I don't know if they actually ever say, but
Yeah,
that's
but
kind of how it would look.
That's how it's portrayed.
Yeah.
And in the comic book, her husband never actually beated her. I think her husband just got attacked by walkers.
Yeah, in the comic book, he's never there.
Oh, is he?
He's not there at all.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
it's so long, I can't even really remember it.
Well, lucky I've read them all recently.
Well, thank you very much. But anyway, she goes on to have a relationship with Tyrese,
Yes.
who is also a little bit different, but I don't think we're really going to touch base with him because he wasn't too much of a major player.
No. The only thing I want to say about Tyrese that's different from the comic books, the part where the governor kills Herschel in the TV show,
Yeah.
cuts his head off, that's actually Tyrese in the comics.
In the comics, yeah.
But that's all you need to know. Moving
Yeah.
on. What were you saying? Carol was hooking up with Tyrese.
Yeah, Carol was hooking up with Tyrese, and Tyrese being the player that he is, he actually cheats on Carol with Michonne.
Yes.
And, with that, she kind of goes out looking for a bit of loving.
Looking for love.
A little bit of
in all
love.
the wrong places.
In all the wrong places.
Yeah.
She actually hits Rick and Laurie up for a threesome.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And, I mean, you're in a zombie apocalyptic world. Why not?
Yeah, why not, right? Like, what else are you going to do?
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. And anyway, of course, they well, not of course, but, they reject her.
Yeah.
Kind of adding more embarrassment to her shitty life at the moment.
Yeah.
And it actually causes her to commit suicide by Walker.
By zombie.
Zombie
walker.
And effectively, what she does is she's completely lost her mind over this shit.
Yeah.
And goes up to a walker saying, oh, you like me. You love me. And just lets it eat her.
It's weird.
It is weird.
It's weird as shit. She completely loses her mind, just lets it bite her on the neck.
Yeah.
And away you go.
And, if you want to go reference this, you go check out issue 41.
Yep.
And you can just see how different she is.
Yeah, it's crazy. And so obviously she lasts 41 issues of the comics. She's still in the show now.
Yeah.
Fucking completely different.
Yeah. Like,
Probably cooler though in the show.
a lot cooler.
Yeah.
Well, the next person you're going to talk about is kind of where I reckon it's a mishmash
Yeah.
of what Carol is now.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Definitely. Who is that person? Who is that magical, mystical person? Andrea. Do you remember Andrea?
Yeah. In the TV show, she
Yeah.
was shit.
She was shit. She was another female character that was annoying as fuck. to everybody. And I think, when she finally bit the bullet at the end of season 3, literally, because she shot herself, well, you heard it.
Yeah.
But, she shot herself. Everybody was quite happy because, she was very annoying. Nobody really cared. It's kind of like, yeah, we get it. Just,
Well, she turned her back on everyone.
She did. She basically, she betrayed like everyone. Well, not really betrayed, but she kind of left them.
Yeah.
And, she fell for the charms of the governor.
Yeah.
And she went to Woodbury and she lived with him and all that sort of stuff. And that's great. But in the comic books, right, she is completely different.
Yeah.
She is alive and well up to where we are. So remember, we're not going any further than basically issue 102. Well, issue 100, really.
Yeah, issue 100.
Yeah, so we're not going any further than issue 100. So as of that, she is alive and well. She is well and truly a sharpshooter. She's the central defense of the prison and the group as a whole.
Yep.
However, a couple of things. After Laurie dies, she enters in a relationship with Rick.
Yes, that's right.
Right? And that's cool, right? Sure. However, prior to having that relationship with Rick, she didn't just have the sort of, I'm your sort of like old man, like guardian / mentor relationship that she had with Dale on the TV show, Dale the old man with the bucket hat.
And the camper van.
And the camper van and all that sort of
shirts.
stuff. Yeah. In the comic books, they actually get it on.
Yeah, they're actually a couple.
They're a full-on couple. There's even a weird sex scene in one of them.
Is.
It's very weird.
What is with these people in the comics?
Horny.
Yeah.
A zombie apocalypse, ultimate aphrodisiac.
Apparently so.
Apparently. But yeah, so she has a relationship with Dale. Dale ends up dying at the prison.
Yep.
So he obviously lasts a lot longer as
Yeah.
well. So Dale ends up dying at the prison. She ends up getting into a relationship with Rick. And they are both currently happy. Well, not happy,
but
alive.
Yeah.
Which is happy.
I
As
guess.
far as it gets in this sort of thing. Dickhead Shane from The Walking Dead.
Dickhead Shane. Yes. Yeah. Well, it's about that whole same timeline, with Dale.
Yeah.
And I guess what we're going to talk about here is the death of Shane in particular.
Yes.
Because it's close, but it's very close.
It's very close, but it's very different.
Yeah. And I'll get to that. So basically, in the TV show, Rick's pre-apocalyptic best friend and deputy, Shane, was already a bit of a wanker.
Yeah.
But, with the collapse of civilization, the zombies, and all that type of shit, it just kind of made him more of a dickhead.
Yes.
And,
Dickhead Shane.
Dickhead Shane, exactly.
Yeah.
And, his shit bloke attitude, was the driving force between really season 1 and season 2 in the TV show.
Yeah. It kind of, I guess what you're trying to say is that whole tumultuous relationship with Rick is really what the first 2 seasons were like built around.
Yeah, absolutely. And, it ends with Rick eventually stabs Shane to death in the neck in self-defense during season 2's 12th episode from memory.
Yep.
And then Carl shoots a Walker version of Shane.
Yeah.
Just as he's about to bite him, of course.
Of course.
Yeah, not just for fun.
No.
However, in the comics, it's actually Carl who kills Shane, with Rick killing the Walker Shane.
Yeah, so role reversal.
Role reversal. And, this all happened in only, you say, 2...
I promise you, it is the second issue.
I think it's the 6th. But anyway, we'll throw it out there. It's in between 2 to 6 issues of The Walking Dead.
Yeah, either way, it's very quick.
Yeah.
It's not a season, like almost 2 full seasons of the show.
Yeah.
It does happen quite quickly, and you're exactly right. It's the polar opposite.
Yeah.
It's, it's Carl who shoots him in the neck when he's about to shoot Rick.
Yep.
And I think that's cool. I think I don't really know why they changed it, but I guess they had to build on that relationship. Like, this is one thing about the show that it might not necessarily do too well, is it does tend to drag these things out.
I think they've done it because, it was season 1, and season 1 only went for, 6 episodes?
6 episodes, yeah, that's true.
So I don't think they wanted a kid killing an adult
That's fair.
in its first, 6 episodes.
Maybe.
And that's the only reason I could see them swapping this out, because Carl was probably 8 years old or something in that TV show. So maybe they didn't want to fuck with him, even though, it's not real.
Yeah.
But, in the sense that, you're pretend killing someone.
Yeah.
Maybe that was it.
So to put it into perspective, Shane dies in the comic books before they even leave the campsite just outside of Atlanta.
Yeah.
In the TV show, he makes it all the way to Herschel's farm and then bites the bullet.
Yeah, that's right. Out in the paddock.
Out in the paddock. Like the old cow that he is, just putting him out of his misery. This is a big one.
Yeah.
There is no Daryl in the comics.
No, there's not.
There is not. There is no Daryl. There's no Merle. They are complete creations from the show writers.
Yep.
And it's crazy because both of these characters, even Merle, have played like integral roles in the show, but especially Daryl. Like, he is the ultimate fan favorite. People were made up T-shirts and shit.
Yeah.
If he dies, we
riot.
riot, sort of thing. And that's just it's amazing how as amazing as everything is that they've created in the comic book world, they can still then turn around and create another character specifically for the show that is just as beloved and all that. It's amazing.
Yeah.
But not even involved in the comics at all.
At all.
There's not even really anybody that is
that you could
like a
reference.
Daryl.
Yeah, that's right. So good on them.
Cool.
Yeah. And we'll leave it on this last one here, I would say.
Yeah.
Is the word zombies.
Yes.
Now, in the TV show, you've probably noticed that the word zombie is never used.
Yes.
Rather they refer to the undead as walkers or biters.
Roamers.
Yeah. I don't know. Anything else?
Yep. Stink bags.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And but I'll tell you why.
Why?
And the reasoning behind it is the show creators have explained that in their version of The Walking Dead, it takes place in a universe where the classical zombie apocalypse, doesn't actually exist.
Right.
So, like the whole stories of, I was almost going to say stories of The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
But, like Resident Evil, all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
That doesn't exist in their universe.
Yeah.
However, in the comics, the Z word is thrown out here,
Left,
there.
right, and center.
Yeah, it's used all the time.
In fact, and this is something that I found interesting, because I have recently read them, to sort of catch up, so we could have this conversation. Is Rick mentions it quite early, and he says zombies and all that sort of stuff, but then he goes on to say that walkers seems like a fitting name for them.
Yeah. So
Isn't zombies?
you would think so.
Could you not just say zombies, though?
Yeah.
It doesn't make a lot of sense, like why they would then create another name if they're already sort of categorizing them as zombies.
Yeah.
I don't really know why they did it, but I think it's cool that they leave it out of the show.
Yeah, so do I.
It's, we're so used to it. We see so much of it left, right, and so there's Nerf guns that you can get for your kids that are like zombie apocalypse Nerf guns.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Which, is cool as shit, but that's how sort of like, thrown in our face they are.
Yeah.
They're for kids.
Yeah. There's
so,
Marvel zombies.
Marvel zombies.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's cool as fuck. Check out that storyline.
Oh, yeah, by the way.
Just a side note.
Just the first one.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them.
There is. There's so many. You only just recently read it, didn't you?
I did, but I read all of them.
You're fucking crazy.
It was mental. So just stick to the first one, but it was cool. That's getting a lot off topic.
Yeah.
However...
You want to do a little bit of trivia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit of trivia.
Okay.
One thing that I found that was actually really cool, well, I didn't find it, mind you. I'm not the man who discovered this. That belongs to someone on the internet. But if you pay attention... The opening titles of The Walking Dead on the TV show, obviously, as the seasons progress, decay slightly more and more.
Is that like the logo?
Yeah. So when they do the all that sort of stuff, and you get to the part where it says The Walking Dead,
yeah,
that slightly decays more and more
as
the seasons go.
Huh.
That's pretty cool, isn't it?
I've got one little bit of trivia for you.
Yeah.
Remember in season 1, the whole point was going to the CDC?
Yes.
That never exists in the comics. And in the comics, they don't actually know why or how the zombie virus is around.
Yeah. So, because I remember, like, from the TV show, they kind of explained it.
That everyone has it.
Yeah, everyone has
infected.
the virus, is infected. And once you die, it becomes, like the butterfly from the friggin' cocoon or whatever.
Yeah.
And you become a zombie.
Yeah.
But yeah, so in the comics, they never reference it.
No,
Yeah.
and they have no idea why people come back to life or anything like that. It's remained unanswered.
And I think interesting to that is they never really try.
No.
They never really try to find out.
No, not at all.
They kind of just like, oh yeah.
Apart from old mate, who said he had the Eugene, who said he had the cure.
Yeah.
That's the only, I guess, hint that there may be something that could fix
Even
it.
though
Which
he was full of shit.
Of course, he's full of shit,
Yeah.
as everyone knows.
Full of shit in the TV show, full of shit in the comics.
Yeah, actually, that followed really closely.
Yeah, it did. Cool.
But yeah, that's my little trivia point.
That's cool. That's cool. And that's it. So look, they're the 10 biggest differences. There are obvious, look, and there's a lot more. And there's a lot more similarities and all that sort of stuff. But what it shows is this TV show is being like,
It's taking great source material, but also creating its own.
yeah. See, I didn't even have words for it. That's
Yeah.
how like I'm just fully like, this show is amazing. I've loved this show since the start. It's had its ups and downs, like it's had some little shitty episodes here and there, but overall it's awesome. And now that I've finally had a chance to go back and read the comics,
Yep.
it just goes to show like where it's come from. The source material itself, like you said, is fucking awesome. So if you get a chance, go out and read some comics.
Yeah, go through them. They're awesome. Maybe go up to issue 100 if you don't want to spoil anything from the potential TV shows.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
How about, though, we just give you some ideas?
Sounds good.
And it's time for our final segment, Get to Know Your Favorite Hero, brought to you by Kasplat Comics and Collectibles. Give your brain the holiday from reality it deserves at www.kasplatcomics.com.au or visit their Facebook page, Kasplat Comics and Collectibles, and have a look at what they're all about.
This week, we're not going to focus on any one hero, but rather the characters from The Walking Dead as a whole, by giving you 3 of the best story arcs in the series so far.
Stories that deal with some of the more painful and traumatic experiences that Rick and the crew have had to deal with, as well as giving you a look at some of their classic, outstanding villains.
So, beginning with number 3.
Number 3 is Days Gone By, which is issues number 1 to number 6. Go back to where it all started and relive some absolutely classic moments from the series, which by page 3 has Rick waking up from his coma, and by the end has him realizing his world has changed forever. The black and white illustrations do nothing to hide the horror of this landscape, as Robert Kirkman and Tony Moore kick off one of the greatest comic series of our generation.
Number 2.
Number 2 is Something to Fear, which covers issues number 97 to 102. So Rick decides to take on the Saviors as a means to trade with the colonists of Hilltop. Sound familiar? What he doesn't realize, though, is that he's up against an army led by a ruthless, terrifying, and bloodthirsty new villain, Negan. The story introduces us to the only guy potentially capable of being a bigger threat to Rick's life than the Governor, and this arc takes you right up to where Season 6 finishes. Fan favorites die, and Rick, the stone-cold, decisive, and fearsome leader of the Alexandrians, is left hopeless.
Number 1.
Number 1 is Made to Suffer, which covers issues number 43 to 48. This 6-issue arc marks the return of the Governor. Left for dead by Michonne and seeking vengeance against Rick and his crew, the Governor makes one last attempt to take over the prison and vanquish his foes for good. What follows is some of the bloodiest work in the comic series yet, pitting Rick up against his greatest foe and piling body on top of body in the process. Not everyone survives, but it's the death of Laurie that changes the game forever. And that's it.
That's it.
That's it. We're done.
That's another episode. Done and dusted.
Isn't it? Make sure you tune in next week for episode 10 when we talk Doctor Strange. Don't forget to cast your votes for the Marvel vs. DC superhero matchups that you want to hear about for episode 11 in 2 weeks' time.
That's it, people. We want to hear who you want to fight.
Who? Not who you want to fight.
But who you want
To see fight?
Yeah, I guess.
Who do you want to fight? That bully from school.
That wanker down the road keeps stealing my paper every morning.
Yeah, so keep it Marvel vs. DC.
Yeah.
Give us 3. We want 3. We will then bring those to you.
Yeah.
Live. Not really, but
Live from our post-recorded
yeah.
podcast.
Cast your votes by the 17th via Facebook at Comic Confidential Podcast, Twitter or Instagram at Comic Con Pod, post on the wall or leave us a message and we'll pick one and make sure you get the credit on the show. Until then, as always, I'm Troy,
And I'm Kade.
and this has been Comic Confidential.
Cheers.
Peace.